Tempted. Hello.
I'm Kimberly.
I'm Sierra. And we're talking about strange things with strange people.
Shake this bad boy up. Pick one, anyone.
Better be good. Share a moment that you remember that changed you.
Thought we weren't trauma dumping here.
I was like, how changed?
Change for the better or worse?
I feel like we should, whatever you want to talk about. That's what you feel like you want to do.
I can't think of one that's not just trauma, so I'm picking another. Let's get that one already. Oh,
can we get deep like that, or is that like...
Whatever you guys want.
I don't know.
Open up as much as you possible.
Yeah, if you're not comfortable, then...
Oh, I'm comfortable.
I don't mind.
I don't mind. Okay.
All right,
I'm
bet.
just going, okay.
Wait, we littered on accident, though.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay. As long as no one sees us, because that's how you get canceled. All right.
For litter bugs.
Okay.
Moment that changed you.
So, a moment that you remember that changed you.
I have the most, flashbulb memory where it was the morning of my medical school graduation. And
What do you do? Sorry.
I'm an anesthesiologist.
Sick.
So this is
It's like, good job. Good job. Look at you.
Oh, you're a doctor. That makes more sense now.
Go off, queen. All right.
And I had just gotten married a week before.
Nice.
And so newlywed, getting ready, gonna go see all my family. We're having this his family, my family. And lo and behold, I find out that morning, look at his phone, and you can already see where this is going. We've been together for 8.5 years,
married?
a week ago. And he's been cheating on me. I find out it's been going on for years, whole thing. I'm about to leave. And so that is just and I am fine now. And that.
Was that your first husband too?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long?
It was my fourth husband at the time. I was 28. No.
Shut up. Dang. How long did how long is it going on for? Was it something that just happened, or the whole time you didn't know?
Oh, whole time I didn't know. It'd been going on for years. She and I end up connecting because I was like, I don't believe a word out of your mouth.
Right.
Of course, it was 2 times, and then I talked to her. She's a queen. She had no idea anything was going on. She's a darling.
Dang.
Poor thing was also traumatized, and that fundamentally changes you.
Yeah.
As far as your ability to trust that things will turn out okay, and it didn't change me in a way of oh, I don't trust men,
Yeah.
I don't fuck men or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that's something that is so not about me and someone just being a troubled person. But it definitely changes your expectation for how things will unravel in your life, that nothing is for certain.
Yeah,
that you think,
trust. It's probably hard to trust someone after
and
that.
I'm getting married, and this is how this big seminal day is going to go. Wow, this is my graduation. This is the biggest moment in your medical career. And that is just I don't have a picture from that day. I don't have anything. Things can kind of explode at any moment.
I was tempted by your smile. I was tempted, and for a little while I was certain that I will be the one to change you, and you will be mine. You will be mine. I was tempted, tempted by your eyes. I was tempted.
How old were you when all this happened, by the way?
So I was 28 when this happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, man.
And it makes you realize, I could, you think, oh, well, I have to have kids now because I need to, I don't want to be 60 when they're doing this. And it's you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe you're never going to be able to have kids, or things can happen where I guess it sounds dark to be well, you could have a miscarriage or something, but you just don't know what's going to happen.
You just never know, yeah.
And I think so many people in their 20s, and like, I want you to speak to if you felt this way of, by the time I'm 22, I want this. And if I have this by 22, it means X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Or did you ever, because I felt very restrained by that, because I had a very linear life up to that point.
In terms of like kind of being like more along the lines of free spirit.
Yeah.
Mine's
I was so not.
Yeah, mine's kind of the other like, more free spirited, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, I grew up in a household in Ohio that was like, literally I lived in the middle of a cornfield. Like there was corn on all sides. So I literally lived in the middle of a cornfield.
Middle of a cornfield.
Yeah, great privacy. Like you could walk outside in your yard naked and like no one would ever see you. So I grew up in like a very small, and in those kinds of smaller towns, there's very like strict standards of what makes a good person, a bad person, and like, there's a big church presence there that eventually became like a huge church. And so I grew up as that church went from like 30 people to like 400 per service or something like that.
And was that kind of the community, was the church?
No, it was just like, it was a big section of the town. You kind of had like a religious, everyone kind of had their own section, and I guess that was the one that I was kind of in.
Okay.
So with that came like a rigidity that was sort of expected in terms of like following the rules.
Yeah.
Which I thought I like nailed, but I kind of had the parents where it was like, no matter how hard you nailed it, sometimes there's always more you could have done kind of vibes.
Were they concerned about optics, about like the way that you're viewed by the rest of the town?
Yeah, that was really pertinent, but and it had a lot to do with like how I valued myself with like whether I'm achieving anything or anything like that. But back to your original question, what were you asking me?
That like if you felt that if your family was like, okay, this is what it means to be a good person, that you're going to go to church and like marry a guy in the church or whatever that might be, or you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, and that guarantees you will have a good life.
Yeah. So
and that then you realize, oh, those if-thens aren't really real.
Yeah, well,
because you do one thing doesn't guarantee another.
I kind of had like a little bit of both going on, where like I was definitely I knew what the boundaries were, like how I was supposed to act, but then there was this other side of me that was like, I've always been the black sheep of the family of like, I don't really know where she gets any of that energy from, or like the way she sees things. I was always like barefoot and like playing with animals, but then I'd always say like, since I was a kid, like, hey, I want to do like acting.
Yeah.
Because I think I was like 4 and I was in like a theater production.
Okay.
And I stared at the audience like the whole time too. And I think I had like 2 lines. But I was like, something grew inside me that day. And so I grew up telling my parents I wanted to do that. And in the town where we grew up, and with my upbringing, my dad was 48 when I was born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like 75, 77 now. Anyways, so he was very much like, no, a career is an office job, like a secretary.
That's what acting is not equal
an
job.
Accountant. Yeah, they're like, that's not real. And it was kind of the equivalent of, a lot of people say that, and I think they thought it was a child wanting to like be Britney Spears or like,
just
someone
kind
like
of
that.
Immature
dream. And they didn't know that like for me it was a huge like outlet. So I grew up as like this black sheep of like too much energy, and I was just I often felt like I was too much for my family.
Okay.
So basically once I graduated, I had this kind of blow up moment. I did have a blow up moment with my parents, but similar, I guess, to the question, I just had a moment where I snapped. It was kind of like a betrayal type thing. I don't want to get like too far into it, but I kind of...
That they felt betrayed by you?
I felt betrayed by them.
Okay.
I had like a... Because I don't want to put my parents because my parents raised me in a very loving household, so I don't want to put them in like a bad light.
Sure.
But just sharing like my backstory, I had had like a suicide attempt at the time when I was like younger.
Yeah.
And for one reason or another, they just didn't come to like see me after that. And they gave kind of like these reasons why
it doesn't matter.
They
why.
didn't want to worry. I don't know. And I was kind of wrecked at that point, but something in me slowly started becoming callous, and it was like,
of course,
everything. I don't care. Like everything that they taught me, I'm just gonna go absolutely against it.
Yeah.
So that was
like
where
these
I
are not my people.
Yeah, I changed, and I got into. Excuse me if I'm shivering a little bit, but it's chilly. The wind, the windy city.
I know my hand is.
Yeah,
it looks warm outside.
But yeah, I mean that was. I had like a period of time for like 3 to 5 years where I did whatever I wanted, and that's when I like actually got into like modeling and everything too. Started doing acting because I was allowed to. But I also got into a lot of trouble and did like a lot of things that like, I wouldn't say I regret because it's just part of living life is doing dangerous, dumb things that you're like, 100%, that. But yeah, like, and going through these tough experiences actually like kind of brought me back similarly to I think the seed of like what my hometown, like the church vibe was going for, which is like, you know, more about, it should have been more about love. And it should have been more connecting with the bigger picture and not living life for just yourself. And like,
and what other people care about and being
then
authentic.
I really realized that like, I still wanted to, like for me personally, I'm a very spiritually open person. I wanted to have a relationship with God. I just didn't want their way of doing it at all.
You didn't want that relationship.
And then I thought like, why are you imitating the way that everyone else is doing it? And then, so it's been a wild ride. So like, I literally went from like doing like during COVID, like,
so was this like when you were 18, like around that time?
It's from like the 18 to 24, 25 range. But I literally was like at a point where I was like in Arizona and Phoenix. I had a friend who dealt drugs that they would get from Mexico. So they like literally just shipped them up from the borders right there all the time. And so
full felony.
Yeah. So
that was next level.
It was just crazy. Like so they had Mexican made fentanyl that they would like bring up all the time. And I would like snort that. Yeah. Like I just made my knee have a reaction. Yeah. This is all it's all like unfolding. Yeah, it was actually
because it's all connected, right? That
there's like reasons why. Like it's weird because like when you say something, you're like, well, no, like
this is why
I want you to know why I'm not like.
You want to over-explain and like validate it. Well, this is why. There's this going on too.
At the time I was doing modeling and I had like a photographer I was traveling with who was a big deal photographer. And he was with a really famous camera brand representing them and everything. And I thought that he was a really like safe dude. And long story short, without getting into details, like it ended up being like a filing a police report kind of thing. You know, at the end of the day.
Spoiler alert, he was not a really safe dude.
He was not at all. Yeah. And,
sadly, I think we all have stories like that.
Yeah, I found out like he actually was just getting away with being inappropriate with models over and over and over and over and over again. And I brought it to the police attention. Actually, the FBI because it was across state. Yeah. And so many people. It wasn't just a one state thing.
That's federal.
Anyways, cut that out. But I was gonna say that was what like led me to start experimenting and kind of getting into drugs because at the time I really had kind of lost my mind after that because I was kind of like I don't really know what to do with myself.
That kind of takes the floor out from under you. I imagine.
I in a way like died as a person. I feel like, and then had to build myself back up from there. So there's a lot of moments that change us.
MBT, the promises, the lies just keep hurting. They just keep on hurting. But I won't be the one to change you, and you won't be mine. No, you won't be mine. Like Eve in the garden when the evening came. How could I believe you, leave you, fooled and ashamed?
So another question, or was that?
You want to keep going? Another question?
Yeah, go for another question.
Cool.
Warm it up real quick.
What can you bring into the room that no one else can?
I think my sense of humor, like my energy, my vibes aren't very common, which is funny because like growing up, that's the thing that like ostracized me. And it was like, you know, I kind of did my own thing. I think like I had a lot of friends, but like I didn't have a lot of like close friends. But I voted like class clown, like when I was like a senior.
Yeah.
Cause like I was just always messing around. I couldn't take anything seriously. Yeah. And, well, buddy, like when life starts beating you down, like having someone around that can just like, cause I've struggled with depression.
To laugh about it.
Yeah, well, like I've struggled with depression for like, like 15 years now.
Same.
And so to be able to laugh, like it doesn't matter if I'm depressed, but to like to still be able to laugh
Yes.
and like, that is our defense mechanism too.
Exactly. Yes.
But
I think so much of that also comes with anxiety. And...
yeah, anything that you can do without really trying,
Mm-hmm.
that's a strong suit. Like,
Mhm.
kind of lean into that. And I realized that like there's a space for that because especially like the more chaotic the world gets in general, the more like hate-filled it gets in general, bored or apathetic,
Yeah.
I guess. You need people that just genuinely want to have a good time, that can still show that there is a good time, and make people laugh. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you're sad and you're just bummed, someone making you laugh is like all the difference.
Oh, it's
So
huge.
I always try to like, if I'm going into a gas station,
Yeah.
saying like, hey, how's your day? And then, if they're in a bad mood, kind
And
of
you,
talking to them, joke with them a little bit.
You don't know what their day's looking like either. That can like be a game changer.
I honestly just go on the belief that everyone's having a shitty day.
Yeah.
I literally am just like, I think everyone. I
operate
literally
under that assumption.
I don't think, like, raise your hand out there, like anyone literally in Chicago that's like fine right now. It's like nobody.
Nobody is fine.
Everyone is like freaking out right now. So like I take that as like, I just assume that, and you can never give someone too much. If they're already having a good day and I boosted them, cool.
Right?
But like,
There's no downside.
There's no downside in kind of
Mhm.
like just being silly, being light,
Yeah.
for a second, take them out of,
Mhm.
the fear and like the anxiety of living.
100%. Like
Yeah.
I mentioned, I'm a doctor and I work in the ICU, and the ICU that I work in is people who've just had cardiac surgery or lung transplants.
Mhm.
And so I am primarily in the operating room as an anesthesiologist or working in the ICU. So it's like the darkest of dark times for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I identify the same way, where I'm like, I don't take anything seriously. Everything is a bit to me. Everything's a joke to me. Obviously, that is so not an appropriate vibe so many times, but I'm like, that's the reason why I have to be like that in real
Yeah.
life. Because things get so heavy and so dark. If I just like took that home with me,
Yeah.
and
you need a break.
you need a break, you need a pop-off valve.
Yeah.
That you have to have dark humor all the time and just like be able to laugh and to be able to be light and make some of those family members laugh when like they are beyond anxious, that they're just living in the four walls of the hospital, and being able to like appropriately make someone smile
Yeah.
can also be so humanizing, because they're like oftentimes scared of me. Like, what news is this woman going to bring to me?
Yeah.
When they're talking to the
Kinda like
doctor.
breaking the tension.
It's breaking the tension of
Hey.
like, I'm a human too.
Patch Adams was a banger movie.
Exactly.
And it was the same premise, so you're not
Same
wrong.
premise. And, like,
Obviously, you got something going
It's
on
so
there.
hard to explain without sounding like a monster of like, I don't make light of these situations, but
I know.
it can be so intimidating if everyone is just serious as a judge the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's also self-preservation.
Yeah.
And when you're like, oh, like I bring this lightness, I'm like, well, the question being like, what do you bring that no one else can? I'm like, well, obviously it's not just me, because
I actually have a question with
Yes.
that. Do you have like trouble sometimes? Do you find yourself like maybe stuck in like trauma rooms, like in the ICU,
Yeah.
and then like having a hard time relating? Like, do you have moments where like, I don't know if I'm getting this across, but like where the average person's talking to you and you're just like, I've seen people die. Like you're
100%.
just like, I have like you. This is petty, or like I'm just
100%.
okay.
And
I
in my
I would
marriage,
think so.
that I have been gently and kindly explained that everyone's stress is valid. I have come to learn that like it is never good to be like, well, like
Yeah, remember, kids, cortisol feels the same for everybody.
exactly.
Yeah.
Cortisol feels the same for everyone. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
why it is there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna remember that cortisol feels the same for everyone.
Cortisol feels the same for everyone. Yeah, tag it.
Exactly. But it can make you feel like a freak in some ways. Like I
Yeah.
remember leaving the hospital some mornings when you've like seen some stuff,
Yeah.
and you're like, I
Shell
feel like
shocked.
you're just looking around like you're an alien.
yeah.
Because like no one knows what I just did or what I just saw.
Yes.
And I just look like some girl walking to my car wearing like a sweatshirt
Yeah.
at that point. And you feel like you have some like secret power or dirty secret. Like, does anyone know what just happened? And I look normal to everyone.
yeah. Yeah.
Does put up a wall of like relatability sometimes.
So like a quick story.
Yeah.
It's so similar, but
And there's so many
and it's
places
also
that
why
can
I
come
kind of
from.
asked the question.
Yeah.
So, not that. Oh my God, I boomer-asked you.
What?
Oh, sorry. I boomer-asked you.
How?
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I just heard of it. It's when you ask someone.
That is
I want to hear your quick story.
Yeah. Okay. Boomer asking is like when you ask someone a question so that they'll answer.
So you can talk
see your
about
answers.
yourself.
And I'm like, actually, no. Like, I actually wanted to know, but I'm like, did I boomer ask you? Anyways.
No, it's like relating. It's just empathy.
Yeah, sorry. No, but I actually did.
Boomer asking is like not caring and glazing over and then being like, yeah, so me too.
I actually did like a disaster relief once. Well, I've done it a few times.
Yeah.
But this particular time, so yeah, I mentioned like how I kind of like returned back to like the faith, but more like the seed of my faith, you know?
Yeah.
And then like I had a dream like three days later, and the dream was like a weird, I would call it a vision, I guess. It was like me walking on the beach, and then like this wall of water coming.
Okay.
And it felt like I was like on like a fishing village, right? This
chills.
wall of water comes, right? And it was so scary because I thought in that moment it felt real, like I was really there.
Yeah, you're in it.
So I woke up like, oh my gosh, because I heard people screaming like tsunami, tsunami, and so I froze, and then before the wall of water hit me, I woke up, and it was so real. And
Yes.
And
it's like upsetting the rest of the day.
Yeah, and at the time
it feels real.
At the time in Florida, like I was crashing with my grandparents actually, and I told my grandma, I was like, her name's Darla. She's my grandpa's wife. Darla. Oh my God, I love
Darla.
Dude. Darla, if you're watching. Anyways, so Darla, I came out and it's like 5 a.m, or like 3 a.m. or something like that. She gets up early, and I was like, I just woke up. She's like, what are you doing up? And I was like, I had this dream, and it felt so real, and I told her about it. And then went back to bed, woke up that morning, and there was a tsunami in Thailand overnight, like that
one,
night.
that major one.
Like overnight. And I was like, that's crazy that happened. It kind of like struck me. And then as that thought struck me, I looked at the TV, and it was talking about a hurricane that was coming in. And for some reason, something in my soul said like, go help for this hurricane. And I went, and I was like, I told my grandparents, and I told like the pastor. Like I said, I just got saved like 3 days ago. I was like, I'm gonna go do this hurricane thing, and they all literally thought I was insane. They're like, because you had a dream? And I was like, yeah, because I had a dream. And they're literally Christians, and they were like, did you have a dream?
Like, that sounds kind of far-fetched.
I told you, I guess. They gave me a gas card. They were really nice about it. So I made it.
It was all good. They gave me a gas card.
I made it there night after landfall, and basically, God, that should be a really long story, but I ended up being. I was there for several weeks, and I worked my way up, and I ended up running the Emergency Operations Center for Mexico Beach, which was ground zero for Hurricane Michael in 2018. So I was on the emergency operation. I was the manager of the Emergency Operations Center.
You've had like 8 different lives.
I know. That's how life is. And anyways, I got summoned back, though, to my grandparents' house because they wanted me to clean my room. Because they had a guest bedroom. They had a girl that they wanted to stay there that they were helping out. It was like a teenager. They had a guest bedroom, and they didn't want her to use the guest bedroom. They wanted her to use my room, and my room was messy. So they asked me to drive my like 7 hours back, clean the room,
because that's more important,
and then go back out and go help with these people who literally like lost their houses. And I just remember with what you were saying, like my grandpa, and they had a son that they had adopted who was like 14 at the time. They were fighting to the death over the remote.
And you're like, this is not
and I was
important.
I still hadn't left like ground zero because I'd been there for weeks at that point.
Yeah.
And I was filled with this like fury of like people lost their houses.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking in your instance, like people are dying out there. Like people
someone
just struggle
lost
with their
husband last
life.
night. Exactly.
And you're complaining about your Instagram
How
photos.
dare you complain about this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know if like you had experienced
100%. It almost makes you more impatient.
But then you feel like an ass.
Then you feel like an asshole.
You're like, dude, get off your high horse a little bit. Like, they're human beings that haven't gone through trauma.
Exactly.
Normal, but yeah.
No, that's normal. Like, they're allowed to be frustrated. Like, we're frustrated around petty things. I'm not, like, better than you.
Like, I haven't flipped out over a remote.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That you, like, become more impatient because you have this deep, or a self-perceived deeper understanding.
Yeah.
100%.
You guys want to sign off?
Yes. It was awesome talking with you.
God.
Oh, wait.
Are we
dapping?
Are we dapping now?
Bro. Hey, wait.
Are we both
I was getting ready to dap. I know. I was like, our feet were touching by the end.
We just kept getting
We're
closer
both married,
and closer.
by the way. Yeah.
Not for long.
Wow,
Done it once,
literally
and I can
right
do it
there.
again.
And we're cutting.
Like Eve in the garden when the evening came. How could I believe you and ashamed. I was tempted, but tempted I'm no more. I've attempted what was never done before. Drop the curtain, drop the curtain. See, no one ever changes.